refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to RBO. We're here live in the morning, in the AM, to talk about some more playoff basketball. Before we get started, I would like for everybody to like, subscribe, and share this video, this platform with anybody that's an NBA fan, because we're gearing up, we're heating it up. And the playoffs, we had one away team win first day. Now we got two away teams winning, so we have three series that are officially started. You know, they say the series don't start until an away team wins, and we have three away wins now, so it is heating up for sure. Also, down low in the bio, we have a link to become a member with the R2L family. Click on the link, become a member. You'll definitely enjoy it. We have chats on Instagram where we discuss every single sport. I mean, yesterday I'm a Nationals fan, and you know I'm an NBA guy, so I was in the baseball chat talking trash to a Braves fan while bouncing back to the NBA chat to talk about the playoff basketball. So it's always a good time. And the NFL chat with the NFL draft coming, there's always something going on in that chat. So you'll definitely enjoy being a member with the family and being in those chats. Also, down low, we have all the shows that are on the R2L network. We have all those shows linked down low in our description, so you guys can tap in with those guys as well. They touch on all different sports, from boxing to baseball, college sports. You get a little bit of everything. So definitely tap in with those guys so you can learn more. Okay, it's time to get started with the main event, guys. So we're going to talk about the Hawks and the Wolves tying their series 1-1. And then we're going to jump to the Cavaliers, who took a 2-0 commanding lead on these Raptors. So the first game we're going to touch on is the Knicks versus the Hawks. Let's recap this game, okay? The Knicks ended up losing yesterday to the Hawks, 107-106, and the series is now tied 1-1. CJ McCollum led the way once again for the Hawks with 32 points, 6 assists, and he shot 3 from 10 from the 3, 12 from 22 from the field. Behind him was Jonathan Kuminga off the bench with 19 points and 4 rebounds, shooting 7 from 12 from the field. Very, very efficient. For the Knicks, you had Brunson drop a cold 29.7 assists. And then you had Karl-Anthony Towns with 18 points, 8 rebounds, shooting 8 from 12 from the field. So in this game, early on in the game, the Knicks jumped out pretty hot. Josh Hart, I thought he set the tone for this team. He was out there just scoring. He was just being very, very aggressive on both ends. And I thought that for this Knicks team, he set the tone. One thing I do not like about the Knicks team, and I say this all the time, Karl-Anthony Towns, man, he does not play big. He has his moments, in the third quarter of this game, he got like 4 straight offensive rebounds and got buckets. And I'm like, bro, you can do that all game. You can literally do that all game. You know who they had on him for majority of the game? Dyson Daniels. He is a 6'7" guard. And they had him on cat. That last play of the game, well, not the very last, the play before Brunson hit that three, and Alexander Walker stripped him, and then they went down and got the dunk. Cat had Kuminga on him. He was just standing at the 3-point line, then he just started standing at the mid post. Bro, you got to be more aggressive. You are the biggest mismatch on the court. Shout out to my boy Cardo. He's a Knicks fan. He said, man, my biggest thing is they don't have no true big man. And that's a fact. Okonkwo starts at the big, and he's not even 6'10". So I think Cat has to set the tone for his team early. Be physical. Be aggressive. Like, let these boys know y'all got to get physical. Y'all got to guard today. Get some people in foul trouble. Slow the game down. The Knicks should not have to rely on Jalen Brunson to do everything. Like, he literally has to create almost everything for this team at times. Like, when it's crunch time, their go-to is give it to Brunson. When they should have another go-to, and that is dump it down low to Cat. Especially when he has a guy like Jonathan Kuminga. Shout out to Andy Wright. Wolves win despite refs' attempts. Hey, man, we're going to definitely touch on that game for sure. Right after this one. So don't go nowhere, my boy. I want to hear what else you got to say. So let's get back to the Knicks and the Hawks. So I think Cat has to definitely step his game up and play more big. I thought that was one of the main reasons why I don't have a lot of faith in them at all, to be quite honest. I think they can win some games because I think Brunson is just that good to me. He's like, towards the end of the game, he kept them in the game on the offensive end. However, on the defensive end, those last like 4 or 5 possessions, Brunson was guarding the guy that had the ball in his hand. So he can't be a defensive liability as well. Despite as much as he does for them offensively, defensively, he can be a liability. I mean, the last 2 buckets CJ got, he just blew right past him. It was crazy. So Brunson definitely as a defensive liability, coaching, the coach has to do something to help him out there because offensively, I mean, he's kind of carrying them, in my opinion. You know, you don't have a guy that can consistently produce beside him. So the Hawks just took over, man. At the end, you saw it felt like the Hawks wanted it more. Shout out to CJ McCollum, man. I gotta give my man CJ McCollum a shout out because it's still a certified bucket at this age, at this time in his career. And he literally is helping this young Hawks team get through a series. When you got a veteran like CJ that you can rely on, and after these last 2 games, it's quite obvious you can rely on them, especially against these Knicks. He just gets through the lane on them and does what he wants. They picked up Mikal Bridges, and he hasn't shown no defense out there because CJ McCollum is just cooking everybody. So, shout out to CJ McCollum, though, man. I thought CJ McCollum had a really good game, you know, with 32 points. He definitely, like, when it was times when it was nothing there, CJ made something happen. He got 1 bucket early in the game where he, like, weaved through traffic. He just pulled up in mid-post, and it was butter. So, shout out to CJ McCollum. I want to also give a shout-out to Jonathan Kuminga. Hey, shout out to HBK. Gonna get you, dog. Hey, I appreciate you in the comments, man. Yes, sir. CJ was the man in Portland. Hey, I told a lot of people when he got to Portland, man. I don't know why they kept Wesley Matthews when they drafted him because he was certified. But we saw what happened after that. But Kuminga coming off the bench, giving them 19 points. I mean, he was just very, very active, especially in that second half. He came in that second half, and he definitely showed out. Now, yesterday when I spoke on this game, on game 1, I said Jalen Johnson has to step his game up. I mean, they're just not going to win. He's their best player. In the playoffs, your guys have to step up. I told y'all going to hear that from me a lot of times. And CJ McCollum has been stepping up. But I'm going to give a shout out to Jalen Johnson. He started the first half only going 0 for 4 with 4 points going into halftime. Disgrace. 0 for 4 for 4 points is a disgrace. Second half, he does pick it up. I felt like he was a lot more aggressive in the second half. He ended up getting 13 points in the second half. He did have a tough bucket, clutch bucket at the end, a driving bucket. So I felt like he definitely in the second half, he picked his game up a little bit and got a lot more aggressive. And that's what the Hawks are going to need, man. They're going to need Jalen Johnson being more aggressive. When you got a guy that's 6'6", 6'8", 6'7", 6'9", that can handle the rock, that can dribble and pass, they gotta put pressure on the other team's defense by driving, by attacking, and being aggressive. I'm not saying you got to score 30, but just make the defense play defense. And when you are 6'8" doing that, it's a total difference than a guard doing that. That's like 6'3", 6'4". So big takeaway from this game. Oh, this is the biggest thing. Mike Brown, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Brunson. I mean, all you guys that was on the court. Why didn't you call a timeout? It was enough time to get the rebound, call a timeout, and draw up a play. Brunson was cooking. I felt like the Knicks didn't give themselves the best chance to win with that method. Mike Brown, as a coach, you can walk up to the ref while your guys at the free throw line, while the guys at the free throw line say, listen, on the miss, soon as we get the rebound, I want a timeout. So your players don't even got to think about nothing. So I felt like Mike Brown blew that totally, man. Like when you got a guy in Brunson who had just been hitting shots, he was keeping them in the game, hit the three, hit the pull up. Like he was getting buckets. Give him an opportunity. You know, he did get scored on. He was the guy that was driving on at the end of the game, but give him an opportunity to win y'all the game. And Mike Brown didn't do that. He relied on Mikal Bridges to shoot up, pull up on the wing, and on a fast break with two people on him. Mike Brown, you blew that, bro. A lot of people say, shout out to Joe. Yes, he should have called a timeout. Man, Joe is a Kings fan. That's Mike Brown is his former coach, so he understands. But Mike Brown, you blew that, bro. Despite the fact that in the fourth quarter, the Hawks ran y'all down, y'all still could have won a game. But now you're sitting at 1-1, going back to Atlanta versus a team that y'all just gave them a whole lot of confidence. So y'all better watch out because Alexander Walker hasn't been playing well. I guarantee you he's going to start hitting some shots when he gets back home. A lot like Dyson Daniels, he hasn't really had a good game offensively. I wish he would just get more aggressive going to the basket. He got Cat checking him as well. So it's like you got a big on you. So when he on the wing, you could take him to the basket. And most of the times he did drive with Cat on him, he had success. So Okonkwo, he's been hitting shots, but I guarantee you he's going to hit like 4 threes next game. I guarantee you. So, yeah, man. The Knicks had just put themselves in a bad position. Shout out to Joe again. He just took the words right out of my mouth. The Hawks did their job. They stole that game in New York. All you got to do is take home court advantage. And that's what they did. They went in there and took home court advantage. So the biggest takeaways from this game, CJ McCollum is still a bucket, man. Certified. Shout out to Kuminga coming off the bench, giving them that lift. 19 points off the bench is nothing to just say whatever to. Like that's a great game, especially in the playoffs. You trade for guys, you sign guys just for moments like that. And Kuminga is one of those guys. I want to give Josh Hart a shout out. 15 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. I thought he played really well for them. Cat, you got to step your game up, bro, and play big. You got to, bro. Mikal Bridges and Anobi, they did what they could do. You are the second best player, the biggest mismatch on the floor. Take advantage of that, my boy. What Shaq say? I ain't gonna say nothing else. That's all I'm gonna say. So the Knicks and the Hawks, I think their game 3 is Thursday. Yes, Thursday at 7. So in Atlanta, let's see if the Hawks can continue on this, carry this momentum over to the next game, or will the Knicks stop them in their tracks and regain home court advantage? So with that series being knotted up 1-1, we're going to head over to the next series in the West, the night game last night. That's also now knotted up 1-1. Hold on, guys. I got this timer on here again. I gotta get this right. I gotta get it right. There we go. The Wolves versus the Nuggets. Timberwolves still a game in Denver, man. This was a good game, I must say. 119 to 114. Ant-Man and Julius Randle. I'm telling you, man. I think they watch RBO. I think they're watching. They're watching, dog. Julius Randle and Ant-Man stepped up to the plate. Ant-Man led the way, 30 points, 10 from 25 from the field, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 24 points, 7 from 14 from the field for Julius Randle, 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Played a pretty well-rounded game, I must say. Then you had on the Denver side, you had Jokic. No, you had Jamal Murray lead the way for the Nuggets with 30 points, and you had Jokic follow him with 24 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, and Jamal Murray also had 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Jamal Murray did not hit 1 3 last game. Told y'all he was going to go off. He hit 6 threes this game, 6 from 14 from the three-point line, but that wasn't enough for the Nuggets to get a dub. The Nuggets, in my opinion, just didn't get enough from their guys. And they're home, if you ask me. Aaron Gordon, where were you at yesterday, bro? 8 points, 3 from 9 from the field, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and you played 37 minutes out there, bro. You got to be a bigger factor out there. When a guy like Julius Randle is out there, you are their best defender for him. You have to step up to the plate and guard that man. He's out there manhandling these boys. Early on in the game, I thought Julius Randle and Ant-Man carried their team. They really were balling. Like, they really, like, early on in the game, I think they had all the points except for 6 points that came from Bones Highland off the bench. They really was carrying their team early on. And when the game started, Ant-Man hit a 3 to answer to Jamal Murray. That was a good sign automatically for the Timberwolves. Then following that, I think Randle hit 2 threes after that. Hit his first 3 shots. Excellent sign for the Timberwolves. My biggest thing for this game, I was nervous for the Timberwolves. I wasn't sure if the other guys were going to show up again. You know, in the past, a lot of times for the Timberwolves, that's the issue. The other guys just don't show up. And I kind of figured Ant-Man just needed more time out there to get his legs under him, to get back in basketball form. Like I said, he just got back from injury. Last game, he played 38 minutes. The first time he played over 30 minutes in over a month. So Ant-Man is a hooper. We know he's going to find his way. And that's what he did. He was a lot more aggressive going to the basket. And I know that's one thing I really want to see him do a lot more is attack the basket more, because with his size and athleticism and finishing ability, that's probably the best way he can control a game. Because once he's driving on you, got to give him space. And you saw what happened. He had that crazy step back. I think that was on Christian Brown. He had a crazy snatch back, step back in the corner because he's been driving, killing him so hard that you got to respect it. You got to respect it. So first game, him and Randle, they both shot 8 from 9 combined free throws from the field last game. They went 8 from 9 last game. This game, they went 15 from 19 from the free throw line. That shows that they were a lot more aggressive at just getting at the defense, using their physicality and their aggressiveness to dictate the game. And I think it was third quarter. And shout out to McDaniels, man. He came out strong in that third quarter, in my opinion. I think he got like the first 3 buckets for the Timberwolves. Came out really, really strong, just attacking. And they need that. Especially when you got 2 guys that are dogs, you need your other guys to be just as aggressive, Not saying jack, but attack. Put pressure on the defense. So I felt like Julius Randle and Ant-Man did a good job all game attacking and just finding the open guys. And then the other players were just moving the ball pretty well. When I look at the game, you see the teams loading up on Ant-Man. He's making the correct pass and they're swinging the ball. and guys are hitting threes. Guys really have been balling out for the Timberwolves. Let me give a shout out really quick to some other guys right quick. I want to give a shout out to Devo. Devo had 16 points. He shot 4 from 7 from 3, just like last game. Then I want to give a shout out to McDaniels. Like I said, he had a great third quarter. I think in the second half he had 10 points. We're only having 4 points in the first half. So that second half he gave them a big boost. Then when you check out the bench, big shout out to Naz Reid. I thought he was a no-show last game. 11 points this game, 4 from 9. But the biggest thing was his 9 rebounds. They need that. They need Naz Reid. You're not just a scorer. You're a big man. You got to play like that. You feel me? Also, I want to give a shout out to these two guards. The first guard is Ayo DeSumo. If you've seen my episode earlier in the year when I spoke on the trade deadline, I spoke on this trade. I said this guy was going to be just a match made in heaven for this team. He does a little bit of everything, man. 9 points, 4 from 8 from the field, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, all around game. He just balls, man. And I feel like him and Bones Highland gave them a big lift. Bones Highland, 13 points on 10 minutes, 4 from 5 from the field, 3 from 4 from 3, and he knocked down both his free throws. In the playoffs, you need that type of stuff, man. You need other guys to give you some type of lift, some type of boost. And on the Denver side, you only boost off the – well, to be quite honest, I must say, Tim Hardaway did give them a really big boost off the bench. 4 from 9 from the field, 16 points, hit all 3 of his threes, and he got to the free throw line hitting 5 from 8 from the free throw line. The biggest X factor in this game, to be quite honest, was Rudy Gobert. We got to give Rudy Gobert some love right quick, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
Hey, Rudy.
I'm going to give you respect, dog. People clown you when you don't do right, but you did your thing last night on that defensive end, my boy. You had Jokic on check. I got to call it what it is. You are – I'm going to say this first, though. I don't know what's going to happen next game or going forward. But I know this game right here, you did your job defensively, my boy. You didn't bring a lot offensively. And shout out to Ant-Man. He spoke in his press conference about how he challenged Rudy. He letting Rudy know, like, bro, you are a big piece of our team. Empowering Rudy, being a leader out there. And I thought that was very, very elite, in my opinion. Like, as the best player, you need someone out there that can do that. So let's talk about Rudy Gobert versus Jokic. Jokic really didn't do much when Rudy Gobert was guarding him. In the third quarter, when Rudy Gobert had to sit, that's when Jokic really picked up the pace. Now, it was one moment in the game where Gobert dunked the ball on Jokic, and then Jokic went right back at him. And I think that's the type of Jokic that Denver needs. You know, the first 2 games, he had only 6 points in the first half. I think he gets started offensively too late. You know, I think he's too good, and he dictates the game too much for him to have to play like that. Like, I think he has to be a little more aggressive offensively and not trying to look to pass as much early on in the game. I think he has to try to be a lot more aggressive. I think he has to be like, just, you saw when he dunked the game, when he dunked the ball on Rudy at the end. That's what we need. We need you to start off the game like that, bro. We don't need you out here trying to just look for other players. We need you to be aggressive. Get Rudy in foul trouble. Get other players in foul trouble. They had Julius Randle on you. Get him in foul trouble. So I think Jokic has to be a little more aggressive offensively. Like, bring that dog out. And I think him taking his L, I think that's definitely going to bring that out, you know, because if you saw him at the end of that game, he did not like it. He did not like it at all. So we're going to see how he pops up this game because, whew, that was a bad L, I must say. That was a bad L on your home turf. You allow, okay, I see now. You allow these boys to come in here and get a dub on y'all. So Ant-Man is back in form, which is a scary sight for this this Nuggets team. They don't really have nobody to guard them, and they don't have no shot blocking. So Julius Randle and Ant-Man can literally go smack to the basket every time. And I feel like that's their strength, man. Use that to your advantage. They have nobody that can hang with you guys. Only person is probably Aaron Gordon. And he's too small for you, Randall, and too slow for you, Ant-Man. So I expect this to be a really good series. I do expect Jokic to answer, to respond. He might mess around and drop 40 next game. I'm just saying, he might drop 40 because he really can't be stopped. So we're going to see what happens. Timberwolves went in there, got them a dub, and now we all knotted up. So appreciate everybody that's been here with your boy. We got to go to one more game. And this game, we don't have too much to talk about. We really got to talk about one guy here. Shout out to the Cavs. They walk away with another victory at home, 115-105 against the Raptors. Ingram, we're going to talk about you, my boy. But the Raptors were led by Scotty Barnes, 26 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Followed by RJ Barrett with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. For the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, another 30-point game, 13 from 23 from the field, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, doing a little bit of everything. Then Harden followed him with 28 points, 9 for 14 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And then Evan Mobley also chipped in 25 points, 11 from 13 from the field. Very, very, very efficient, and 8 rebounds. What a game for the Cavs. Their big three really showed up. You know, when you have a big three that shows up like this big three showed up, it's hard to beat them. Especially when you have the opposite team's big three not showing up. You know, RJ Barrett, I read off RJ's and Scotty Barnes, but Brandon Ingram only 7 points. 3 from 15 from the field is unacceptable. Last game, you spoke out about how your coach wanted you just to be a guy that set screens, and you said y'all not winning games with you shooting just 9 shots. Well, you shot 15, and y'all still ain't win. So I believe he started the game like 0 for 5, 0 for 6. Brandon Ingram, y'all aren't going to win, bro, you playing this way. Now, I do feel like you can bounce back. You know, first game, Quickly was out as well for this game, and his backup had a pretty good game, 17 points. But this game, only 3 points, only hitting 1 from 5 from 3. Unacceptable. Off the bench, I think Murray Boyles plays very well for them off the bench. 17-7. I think he had a pretty good game last game. They got good production off the bench, to be quite honest. Brandon Ingram, you sold this game, my boy, I must say. 7 points, and you got really good. You got 3 guys in double digits off the bench, 14, 12, and 17. And then you get 22 and 26 from your other guys. And then Ingram only was 7. That's the reason why they lose right here, right now. If Ingram just gives them 18, they win. Give them 20, they win. That's the difference in the game here. If you look at the Cavaliers team, only those 3 were in double digits, and then Jared Allen had 10. Everybody else was in single digits. So their big 3 really carried them to this victory. And I really think that's just going to be the difference in this series. I just think that the Cavs' top players are just more seasoned and just better than the Raptors' top players. You know, I spoke on how Brandon Ingram just was a no-show this game. Last game, he started off pretty hot, but he didn't get enough shots up. This time, he couldn't get nothing really going. So The Raptors, I think they're missing quickly. They're not out of it yet. They got 2 home games back to back that they're about to play. And I think with Emmanuel quickly out there, I think they'll be a better team. I think they'll be a way better team. So I think they must win. This next game is kind of must win for the Raptors. If they don't win this next game, I don't see them coming back from 3-0 at all. But for them to win, Brandon Ingram is going to have to play a lot better. 2 games straight. First game, he just wasn't involved enough. And this game, he just wasn't doing enough. He just didn't do enough. He didn't score enough. He didn't make enough shots. He just didn't do enough out there this game. 3 from 15 from the field is horrible, man. That is just terrible. So Brandon Ingram, you got to step your game up if you think y'all going to have any shot of beating this Cavaliers team. And on the Cavaliers side, it is good to see Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and those guys all gelling together. This is a good series for them to do just that. You know, James Harden was traded to them later on in the season. They got some reps together, but with Strus and just the whole team together, these are really, really good reps for them to be ready for the winner. I believe they play the winner of the Magic or the Pistons. So, hey, man. Back against the wall a little early right now. Your back is against the wall a little early right now, man. So we're going to see how the Raptors respond. You know, Brandon Ingram, I got faith in your game. I think you can bounce back. So we're going to see how they respond in this game. If they go down 3-0, it's really a wrap for them boys. All right, man. That was all the topics we have for today. We went over all 3 games. You know, we got 2 series that are knotted up 1-1. We got 1 series 2-0. Let's talk about what's going on for the night right quick. We got 3 more games tonight. I was hoping my boys played tonight, but we got to wait 1 more night. We got the 76ers at Boston. We got the Spurs against the Trailblazers. And then we have the Lakers and the Rockets again. No KD for the Rockets. Will Sengun and that offense be better. And then we have the Spurs and the Trailblazers. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp. Denny needs you out there. Denny needs you out there, my guys. And 76ers, I'm just going to pray for y'all because Maxey, if y'all will have a shot if Paul George can just be aggressive out the gate. He got to be aggressive out the gate. He can't let the rookie outshoot him. He just can't. It just no. You're the second best player out there on your team. Act like it. So we're going to see what happens. Are we going to have another series that's tied up 1-1? Everybody about to go 2-0? Find out when you watch the game tonight. But before we go, make sure you like, subscribe, share this with anybody that's an NBA fan. Like I said, we're going live every morning to recap all the games that came on the previous day. And we're going to keep this going throughout the playoffs. Shout out to the whole network. Down low, we have all the shows linked. And we also have the link to become a member of the R12 family as well, down low. So lock in with the R12 family. It's going to be a fun ride. We got the NFL draft coming this week. Baseball has started. It's just a wonderful time for the sports world. So make sure you like, subscribe, so you can know when the next show is going to be, which is going to be tomorrow morning, same time, 9 o'clock. So tap in with your boy. We got 3 games tonight. You know what's going to happen. Some players going to fall. Some players going to crawl. But real ballers, they going to ball.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.